until you get the second costume. Then you're missing out on the second costume.
I like the dreads. The dreads are a nice touch, especially with their super. I mean,
I like the braids more on the second costume. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty
100%. They're way better.
But I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm maining her. I'm a little biased.
Yeah, aesthetics aside, bias aside. World Tour is like just a flood of content. I can't wait to see what more they're going to release to it. I have an inkling that they're going to add like special events that go on with it. It'll be really cool.
I did see the custom characters used outside of World Tour in like training room.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen it yet.
I saw like a level 52 person playing against another level 52 or testing some stuff out. The damage is kind of like low. I think they can go up to level 70 and then it caps. But I mean, dude, I saw like fireball teleport in sim teleport into like SPD, but it didn't do a lot of damage. So I'm wondering if the scaling is based off of like certain
how many moves you have. Yeah, because it'd be so fucking broken otherwise. Yeah, I've seen some of those like concept combo videos out there, like some of the cursed ones that I'm just like, I had to double take and be like, wait, what? That was that move. That was this move. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, I'm so confused and scared at the same time. But yeah, with World Tour, that's something we're gonna all, like I said, dive into even more as we continue, as we kind of put more time into the game. But I mean, in terms of the landscape, right? Like we got some demon characters out there. We've got like your JPs, your Manons, Marissas, like some of the new ones, right? Most of the new ones. This is gonna be just like an interesting time. Like if you checked out like DreamHack, right? They had like a big tournament that went down. DreamHack Dallas went down over the weekend as well, over throughout like the end of the week into the weekend, and they had a Street Fighter 6 tournament. Shout out to the homie Saken who made top 16 with JP. He's actually an incredible gamer in general, but I know he's a Guilty Gear player, May player. Excuse me, not May. Sorry, don't want to disrespect you, homie. A Jam player. And he ran shop with JP over at DreamHack. Shout out to you, homie. But nice. We got to see a great variety of things.
You said he's a Jam player?
He's a Jam player.
Is that what JP stood for?
Yeah, right. Maybe.
Right.
It actually could be.
Moving on.
Nice, good connection there. But yeah, so it's a great time. The game is so much fun. It's there've been tweaks too, right? We did state this a while ago. Like I know you said beta crack users are going to be insane coming in, like maybe some to a degree, maybe they're at like a 60 to 80%, but there have been changes to some of the base rosters that we knew were like, listen, even if you get good at this beta, it doesn't mean that this character is going to do what they did here in the main game once it actually gets released. And that has already been confirmed, right? Kimberly being one of the characters that got hit, right? She no longer has an invincible EX reversal, right, to get out of dodge. Chun-Li, I think, also got hit a bit as well. There was a couple others like Ken as well. I think he got like a slight buff. There's a bunch of different small changes here and there, but then we had the rest of the roster that came up. So even though 8 of these characters were in that beta, the game still feels fresh as hell with the full roster finally available to us. And the amount of people that, like I said, have jumped in, it's fighting game week, right? We had Yipes with freaking T-Pain doing a stream together, which is awesome. There's going to be a Twitch team battle between several different content creators and influencers, like your Maxes and your Brian F's. I think who was the other one?
Team captain for Team Anime.
Diaphone. Then there's like old school Third Strike cats with like Automatic and like Mono's on there and a couple other players, which is awesome. So it's going to be really cool to see that, chance to see the character variety, see how the competition is going to lead, because the tech is just, like I said, I'm constantly checking my feed right now. If I even look at like my follower, who I follow, okay, yeah, it's like 90% is Street Fighter 6. And then if you actually look into the actual Twitch itself and see the players that are actually streaming, you got cats like FPS Shaka, more known for playing, shocker in his name, right? FPS, like Apex Legends is kind of the go-to game that he plays. Now he's in Street Fighter 6 mode right now. We've got Moon, right? Another big, incredibly large Twitch streamer that's playing it. Moon has had, talks about fighting games, and it took for this one to come out. And then plenty others that have come out of the woodwork, right? You got Filipino man, you got F Champ, crawling out of whatever hole F Champ is living in right now, is streaming the game. And what was the last one I was gonna? Oh yeah, and you, like I said, you got cross like game influencers, right? You got CarQ, most notably of Overwatch and such, now jumping in and playing. I mean, shit, Chipotle's putting, yeah, Samuel earlier. So I mean, also shit, Chipotle, you know, shelling out for that sponsorship and those bounties and such. You know, people are gonna be on that. There's everybody's eating it right now, right? Everybody's eating some food right now. But the game, at the end of the day, is fun. I don't know how many people are still complaining about DI right now, because now we've moved from complaining from DI to complaining about characters, which I'm like, oh, we're full circle again. We're back to it. Yeah, we're back to it.
But you know what I noticed? That like,
what's up?
It only takes a day for certain parts of tech to actually get figured out. Like, yeah, for instance,
so
the headbutt is already being like punished and
nullified,
parried. Yeah, nullified. Like instant. I just went into practice mode. I was like, wait a minute, is this like Street Fighter 4? Can I jab it? Sure enough, I back fierced it with Chun. Like,
show enough.
Here.
You know who's not getting tech blown up still enough is JP.
Manon.
JP.
JP kinda is. There was already that.
Go
like,
watch Sako, because you think you're gonna blow that up. Good luck.
Well, first of all, it's Sako. You can't playing the player versus playing the character. Two very different things, right?
My man is just zoning. That's it. He's just zoning.
JP is basically an MK character. I'm just putting it out there. So I don't feel terrible. I've dealt with that shit. I've dealt with the injustices and such, bro. Like I'm not sweating it too much, to be honest. But there's just massive tech. Like I said, the Twitter feeds, the blowups are great. The YouTube videos that are just constantly coming out. I mean, like I said, all these influencers, content creators are just like, oh, there's a gold mine right now, and it is. It's a great fucking time to be involved in anything creative if you're trying to build out any kind of content, if you're doing videos or a podcast or anything like that. It's a great time. It's a great time for sure. But Street Fighter 6 has just been like, you know, it's a great release, done incredible numbers already. I think at this point on Steam, it's looking good. 1 million units are sold. People are streaming it. We're only now getting into more of the exhibitions to get started, and the tournaments are going to start rallying up, right? CEO is going to be at the end of the month. That's going to be a banger. So the game is I think started off on the right foot. I think all that marketing that they did has paid off. But also on top of that, the game, like I said, is just fun. Like, I have yet to really sit down, and yes, I know it's still early, but regardless, even with playing all of the beta, I have yet to still feel like the game, I've already plateaued on a level of the game. Like, we all suck right now. It is what it is. Some people suck less, some people suck more. But regardless, the game is still fun at whichever of those levels right now. And I think it's going to be like that for quite some time, just because the sheer flexibility, the expression you get in the game, and just a variety of characters is it's an incredible experience so far.
Dare I say, we're at like basic math level, and then there's like gonna be like the equations, you know, the level of equations or the calculus.
We're gonna get the algebra, the calculus, the trig.
What do I mean? Like you're getting into this is the nitty gritty beginner mode, where it's like 2 + 4. Then we're getting to algebra. Then we get to calc. And I only say that because we're not at the formula where we're like, we have to do this now in this situation. Like, this is most optimal. Once we get to most optimal, that will be when like people will be trading. People are already doing this, but like they're trading certain buttons into more frame advantage buttons. Like, people have already done that in 5. I've seen a Kimberly do a video where they're like, yeah, I just fierce Hadoken like point blank, and then I combo into another fierce, because it trades with the Ryu. And I'm just like, that level stuff was like frame trap level stuff, where they were like, I know I can get hit by a button here and I can combo because of the hit stun. And I'm just like, oh, people are gonna just destroy this game already.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly fast. Ever since Force,
because that's just that level of,
yeah.
I
had to explain is, I know I was in a Discord with like at least a dozen other people, and this was more of a casual Discord, and it was friends and family. And I remember I was just like, oh, I'll come by to say what's up, and I'll play some online matches, let them see like how it is to play. I know it's gonna sound weird, like at that level or something. It's like, but play at a little more hardcore level.
Yeah.
And I was in training mode waiting on things, and I remember like people were like, "Yo, what the hell is that thing at the bottom of your screen?" I'm like, "What? Oh, you mean the frame bar?" And I had to explain to them, and they were all playing Street Fighter 6, and I had to explain to them all as to what that was with frames and counting and the math and everything. I was like, "Holy shit, this has definitely reached out," because you know, I think the most these cats have been exposed to is something like Smash, and they're like, "Oh no, we're good with this," and then Street Fighter 6 just Capcom convinced them to purchase and take the plunge, and a lot of them did.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, I can't wait to show my brothers like just like simple stuff. Be like, oh yeah, you know, damage, Manon, grab. Yeah, they'll be like, that's cheap, man. Like
something
anybody can
profit.
tell. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so it's right now. It's a great time to be playing. Jump in, no matter what the game you're from. This was right now uniting like a lot of people. Your guilties, your KOF cats, your MK heads, your OG Street Fighter, your new G Street Fighter. Like everybody's jumping into the game right now because either it's fun, maybe they're just making a shift on their own path to competing in this, which is a great thing to do. This is gonna sound so cheesy. It's gonna sound so fucking cheesy. But one of the biggest things I took away from Daigo's book that he wrote was, if you were to compete like in fighting games, like pick a game that has a lot of competitors. Like you want the game that has a lot of competitors, not because like, oh, popular, this, that, and the other. It's because it gives you the most opportunity to play the most amount of people for you to grow in. So I was like, you know, for a lot of people that's a route that they can look. Because yes, there are niche games, you know, like your KOFs are not as big as your Street Fighters, or your MKs are different from your Guilties, right? Or your Tekkens and such, mainstream and your side games or whatever. 6 just like ignores all of that. I don't know what the formula was. I don't know if it was going back to their old G formula, the presentation, or like I said, the marketing. Everybody's just fucking with it, and it's awesome. It's a great fucking thing, and I'm stoked for it because that's just gonna allow for new talent, or talent that it just has never had an opportunity to grow because of, you know, scenes. Sometimes they plateau, which is fine. You know, if you love playing the game, you play the game, right? There's absolutely nothing wrong about it. But the game, man, really just, the tech I'm getting it from the people that I've seen, I'm like, what? Don't you play this game or this, that, and the other? I'm like, this is fucking crazy. This is amazing. And they turned out to be like, you know, what do we say, right? Fighting games, fundamentals, those are universal. You're good at it in one game, you can be just as good in another game. It might take a little bit of shifting because the systems are different, the way the game plays, the speed, this, that, those little variables are there, but fundamentals are fundamentals. You're gonna rock out regardless. If you got good footsies, if you have great reactions, if you got great hit confirms, if you can frame trap, if you can play a certain kind of way, like when it comes to certain character archetypes, that translates, man. That translates, and it goes across the board. So the game, like I said, everybody's just fucking with it. It's awesome. Those lobbies are being packed. I haven't had really any network issues. I know you and me and Static, we kind of had like a weird run-in just the other night, but that I don't think was related to, honestly, the network. I think that was just a local machine thing, because once I restarted, it was perfectly fine. But yeah, I think their stress test worked out. I don't think anyone else here has had. Have you guys? Oh, before we close it out, I want to know: have you guys had any of the mythical modern control beasts like to fight yet?
I fought one Manon who was on modern control, and that was the scariest thing ever because combos just work.
Yeah.
I was just getting tossed and RKO'd.
You're just like, what? Yeah. So I've had.
Oh, I was gonna say before Meza goes on. By the way, tutorials are really good if you're casuals just getting to learn. They are informative. But go on.
Yes, for sure. What about you, Meza? Have you come across the mythical modern mythos?
Funny enough, for my short stint of playing online, no, I have not. But I've actually watched my roommate come across quite a few in the beginning, and because like he obviously was playing in a lower league for a different character, and he was like, I'm just gonna maul these people, and it kind of does work. It's kind of messed up, but I'm sure in due time they will get very comfortable with modern controls, because it is weird. It is a very unique thing. So I think once you get I think it's cool that they're using World Tour to do that as well. So once people get more used to that and fighting in the concept of Street Fighter 2D fighting plane a little bit more, I think we'll start seeing some more modern, like, unique players come out of the woodworks. Like, we're gonna get an Akuma, type of player.
Fuck that, man. The first one I came across was a Zangief. I was like, holy shit! I am about to get like scooped, and it's not gonna make any sense.
But it's not gonna do any damage. And 20% reduction,
bro. Fuck that. I don't care if it's 20% reduction. That shit hurt. When it's like two of those, I was like, this is just as bad. Like I was hurt. I've had a modern Geef, modern Jury, modern Manon. All of them were like nightmares. I was like, how are you folks? Like, man, you are DIing me, and you're like, the parries are so well done. But once you kind of like learn the pattern, is the weird thing about it is once you learn the pattern as to how the game wants them to react, it's no longer a big deal. But ones like Geef are scary because they'll just be standing and all of a sudden, hit you with the bear hug, and I'm like, bro, that made no sense.
I do wonder though if the more higher executional characters such as like Cammy and Chun-Li, if doing combos for those characters, because they're already difficult for most, I wonder if modern controllers just can eliminate that and make it very consistent, right? Because that's what we were talking about before, was consistency with modern controllers. I think if that is a big thing, then we might see some people play a tournament on Classic with, like, let's say Ryu, and then they go, you know what, this matchup is not good for me, but I don't want to work extra 10 times hard to drop a combo with a character like Cammy. I'm going to play on modern controllers, and I'm going to be able to play this matchup really, really well because I'm on modern controllers and consistent.
Yeah, that is very true. We might just see that happening. I'm currently scouting out, seeing the online local Street Fighter 6 tournaments, trying to see if anyone might pop up here on modern controllers. Not as of yet, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. I can't wait. It's been week -1 right now. It's gonna be insane. The tech that we are already seeing, the feed is blowing up, and it's gonna be a great time. And I can't wait to spend a couple years here until, I don't know, if Akuma's broken, then I might just be like, yeah, yo, it's been fun. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go back to Guilty.
Hey, quick thing, by the way, Capcom USA said tune in on June 12th, 3 p.m. Pacific. Capcom Showcase digital event featuring roughly 36 minutes of news updates on our latest game. Just dropped about 17 minutes ago.
Ooh,
that's
okay.
June 12th, so next Monday. Hey,
next Monday. So we might get, because we're supposed to be getting our first character this summer for the game, which I believe is Rashid. Rashid will be in first. It'll be before EVO, all that. So we are probably gonna see some sort of trailer. We're probably gonna get some gameplay, which is awesome. So they need to just start turning out the content and, seeing how the whole reactions to Street Fighter 6 have gone and make it apparent. They're definitely gonna be flexing like, oh yeah, 1 million units sold, yo. Like, in case you didn't know,
it's okay.
Like, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't see you there. Our money machine is just throwing out all these bills.
And NRS is smart because they're like, it's okay. All of our players are gonna play a Capcom game, and then they're gonna be upset because it's not an NRS game. Then as soon as they get out of the Capcom game, they're like, this is BS. Guess what? MK comes out, and now they're back into their game. Yo, this is so smart.
Yeah, and then you still got Tekken to look after, and then you got a couple other games as well to tweak out. It's we eating good, man. We are eating good.